Hi there, you're welcome back to this channel. So in this video, I'm going to take you through algebraic functions. In our previous lessons, we've dealt with polynomial functions, we've dealt with power functions, constants, stepwise, and others. So if this is the first time you're being on this channel, kindly subscribe to this channel so you get updated when I post useful videos like this. So algebraic functions is a function that can be defined as the root of a polynomial equation. When I say roots, roots is just root of polynomial equation. So normally if you have quadratic, the root of quadratic equation is also called the zeros of the equation, zeros, right? So algebraic function is simply defined as what? The root of a polynomial equation. Or you can also say algebraic function is constructed, yes, by taking sums, products, and quotients of polynomials. So once you have a polynomial, you can take maybe the sum, you can add different polynomials together. So the more you are manipulating polynomials, then it means you are going to get an algebraic function as a result. So you can see from the examples I have here, I have the square root of 5 minus 2x. So within this square root sign is what we call a polynomial function here, right? And here to have square root of x minus 1 over x minus 1. So the more we manipulate polynomial functions, then we get what we call algebraic functions. So it's like algebra of functions, you get it? Yeah, so let's quickly go through the example I have here. So normally if you want to study functions, the domain and the range of functions is what should be the point of interest, right? So find the domain and range of the following functions. I have the first function to be f of x is equal to the square root of 5 minus 2x. F of x, that's the b, is f of x equal to the square root of x minus 1 over x minus 1. Then the c is f of x is equal to 2 minus x over the expression square root of x minus 1, then minus 2. So let's see how to solve this problem. So for the a part, f of x is equal to square root of 5 minus 2x. You have to find the domain of this function. Domain. So what is the domain of this function here? To find the domain of this function, we simply give the set of values that will make this function defined. This function here is under the square root sign. You know that in the row number system, a square root sign should have within it any number that should be greater than or equal to 0. So if you have a number less than 0, it becomes undefined here. So meaning that our 5 minus 2x should be greater than or equal to what? 0, right? So therefore, we can further simplify this and you get something like 5 greater than or equal to 2x and x less than or equal to 5 out of 2. Therefore, our domain is stated as x is such that x is a member of all real numbers where x is less than or equal to 5 on 2. As simple as that. As simple as that. Now, let's see. But you can also find the domain in the other way around. This is the stage where we just wanted to see the values of x that will make it valid. You can also say that 5 minus 2x, 5 minus 2x minus 2x should be less than or equal to 0. And this is going to give us a set of values. So sorry, should be less than 0 instead. So this should give us a set of values that will make this function undefined. So for here, we are going to get 5 is less than 2x. Therefore, x is greater than what? 5 out of 2. So for this manner, our domain is simply going to be x is such that x is a member of all real numbers except x greater than or 5 on 2, and this is the same as this. So any way you want to do it is the same thing. Now what about the range? What about the range? So when you have a function like this, since our function, the whole polynomial is under the square root sign, we can never get an output to be what? Negative, right? Range. Because in the row number system, you won't get a negative output because you are putting positive or numbers which are on the right side of the plane here. So our range is simply going to be positive row number, positive real numbers represented as r plus. So when you see r, then subscript plus, it means positive real numbers. Positive real numbers. Okay. You can plus 0. So you can say non-negative real numbers. So here, that is the range of this particular function. Now let's see the b. The b is f of x is equal to square root of x minus 1 over x minus 1, right? So I want to find the range and the domain of this function. So to find a domain of this function, as usual, I just say s is such that s is a member of all real numbers except, now this is a radical function, right? Check, this is a radical function. So this being a radical function here, we are only going to accept positive inputs. We don't want any negative inputs. We want positive inputs. For that reason, we have another form of representing domain by using the r plus, r minus, as I said. So r minus is going to be what? A set of negative real numbers, right? Yes. So let's see. When you have this, the square root sign here should tell you that x should be greater than or equal to 0. Is that not it? Then also this x minus 1 here should tell you that s cannot be equal to 1. So as I said, the square root of x here is telling us that s is greater than or equal to 0, right? Then the x minus 1 here is an expression which will become undefined when s is 1. So s is going to be greater than what? 1 for this side. Or s shouldn't be what? 1. So let me make it this way. S is not equal to 1. So how do we combine these two conditions to give us our domain? So our domain for this side, we simply use r plus. We should have only positive real numbers coming here, r plus. Okay. So once you have r plus for this, then you can say that we are taking what? Negative, sorry, 1 out. We are taking 1 out. So we simply say r plus minus into brackets 1. Okay. So this becomes our domain. A set of positive integers, sorry, a set of positive real numbers minus 1. Other way around, you can say that x is such that x is a member of all real numbers, yes, except or where x is greater than or equal to 0, comma, x is not equal to what? 1. That is it. So once you have this, what is our range? What is our range? So for the range of this function, you realize that here, when x is greater than 0, I'm having this for this side will always produce a positive output. But for this side, we are having minus sign here. So there is a possibility of getting what? A negative output. Therefore, the range is a set of all real numbers. So it can give both positive and negative real numbers. So all real numbers. Now let's see the final one, which is C. The C is simply 2 minus x over square root of x minus 1 minus 2. So 2 minus x over square root of x minus 1 minus 2, which is out here. So this is a more critical one, which you need to analyze it for. So let me rewrite this clearly here. So 2 minus x over the square root of x minus 1, then minus 2 here. So what is the domain of this function? We always focus on the denominator. So for the denominator, what values of x will make this denominator undefined? So you realize that under the square root sign, we shouldn't have a negative number under the square root sign. And as well as the whole expression here shouldn't be 0. So as I'm saying, x minus 1 should always be greater than or what? Equal to 0, right? Then the square root of x minus 1 minus 2, this whole expression should also be greater than what? 0, or should not be equal to 0. shouldn't be equal to 0. Yeah. So these are the two conditions you state out. So let's see how we can take them out. So x minus 1 should be greater than or equal to 0. When it is 0, when s is 0 here, okay, let's see something. With this, we can't say that x should be equal to 0. So let's see. When s is 0, we are going to get a negative as a number under the square root sign. So we need to take off the equal to sign as well. So we take this out. Yes. So we are going to have x minus 1 should be greater than what? 0. Okay. Should be greater than 0. So, okay, wait. Let me do it well. Yes, I'm making some slight errors here. Pardon me. So the case is actually x minus 1, yes, should indeed be greater than or equal to 0, because whatever here can be 0 and everything will be 0. Once the x minus 1 turns 0, the square root sign will give a 0 output, and you have negative 2, and our answer will be valid. Okay, so x minus 1 can be greater than or equal to 0. But when s is 1, when s is equal to 1, so here you can say that s is what? When you solve this, you get s is greater than or equal to 1. So meaning that you can have s values being what? 1 or more, right? So when you have s values being 1 or more, then obviously our function here would always be greater than 0, will always be greater than 0, right? So that should be enough. This condition should be enough, because once this is satisfied, this condition is also what's true. This condition is also true, because once you have s greater than or equal to 1, this is always not equal to 0. So therefore, our domain is simply x is such that x is a member of all real numbers where x is greater than or equal to 1, like that. Then the range true is obviously set of all real numbers, because it's possible to get what? Negative numbers. When s is bigger, like 10, here will give me a negative number, but here wouldn't give me 0 or anything which is undefined. So we can get negative real numbers here. So this is the end of this section. Thank you for being with me here, and kindly subscribe, like, and